Today's morning coffee vinyl side. Alabama. Roll On, 1984. I remember 1984. I was 14, turning 15, and it was the year I went to my first two concerts. Van Halen's 1984 in May, and Michael Jackson on the Jackson's Victory Tour in November, a couple of months after turning 15. It's pretty hard to beat the mighty Van Halen and Michael Jackson when it comes to concert firsts, and I remember every moment. But I also remember another band from that year as well, though I never listened to any of their music. Alabama. If you watched music award shows on television in the early 80s, there's no way you could not remember Alabama. They pretty much swept every category in every award show they were nominated for from 1981 through to 1986, and are still the most awarded country music group in history. I never listened to country music in the 80s. It wasn't my thing, so my memory of the band is entirely visual. The Dixie flag, the beards, the jeans, the hair. So this was my first time hearing any of their music. But in truth, outside of a childhood love for the Charlie Daniels Band, because I loved Devil Went Down to Georgia, I had not listened to much country music in my life at all, until these last 2 years of spinning vinyl on Morning Coffee Vinyl side. And although it's still not my preferred genre of music, I found my way inside and am making my peace with it. Now, like all genres of music, there's good and bad, and matters of taste. I know that. But this album actually surprised me for what it was, and for what it wasn't. And what it wasn't was any good. I could break it down and lay out an argument for what I found lacking, but I think the most honest and objective thing I could say is that the performances were so staid and antiseptic, so lackluster, the aesthetics and energy so flat and lacking of any vitality or essence, that I'm struggling to reconcile all that applause I remember these guys getting when they took to the stage to collect their awards. Like, what the hell was going on with country music in the first half of the 80s that this was the cream? But now I understand the rise of Dwight Yoakam in 1986, and later Garth Brooks. I understand the rise of country music through the end of the 80s and its triumph into the early 90s and beyond. Because based on this, it was time. Country music fans were starving for something with actual nourishment. And all those screaming Alabama fans in 1984, they were just starving as well. But hey, this is just me after one listen the day after Boxing Day, sipping my morning coffee and trying to make sense of it all before I run off to the mountain of work I've let pile up that needs to be completed before the new year. What do I know?